All right, now before we get into today's video, you probably come across something like this where it's been spinning forever searching for teammates. Now, when I play on the Xbox, I found maybe a little workaround for it, but it was doing this for a couple minutes, and instead of quitting, what I decided to do was I decided to just kind of go back to my home screen. So I'm gonna show you that. I go back to the home screen and then resume game, and when I resume game, it started, starting game. So as you see, I hit home, go back to the home screen, hit the A to resume, and voila, it's starting game. So if you're having a little issue where it's searching for teammates, or it's looking for a number of players, or it found 10 players and the game's still frozen, the game's still stuck waiting to start until they come out with a workaround, that might be a way that you can get through to actually get in the game. I know a lot of people have been having issues because of that, getting losses because of that, because it technically puts them in the game, and yet here they are. So without further ado, what it do, 2K fans? It's your boy JuKIng the Boss, and I'm coming at you with another video real quick. Now, before I go into the details of this first game that I played, I wanted to show y'all what my current stat line is at. Now, there was one of my games that got removed. I went 0 for 4, but I had a really good defensive game, but I fouled out of that game, so I don't know if that's the reason why. For a lot of people, they've been saying that they have games removed that they really, played well, or, they had the stats that were really good, or the footage was really good. One thing I would say is I'm hoping that it's on their side of the server as well, so maybe not just a local copy for you to be able to get, but maybe it's lost somewhere in their server. So hopefully you'll be able to at least have that footage found and sent back to you, so that way you can see those and compare those stats and look at those cliff notes from that, maybe that stellar breakout game. Now, essentially, I'm shooting about 48 to 50% on average. I don't really shoot from 3. I use a slasher defender for all of my games, and I don't really shoot from 3, but I'm gonna show y'all the first game, and we're gonna go over some good talking points for the combine. So this is the first game that I played. They had me matched up against a shot creating slasher, and myself and one other guy, we were on the mics on the team, and we were communicating. Now, first it was 3 of us communicating on the mics, but the power forward, he really stopped talking. Like, he was just kind of like every now and then he'd say something, but as a team, we try to communicate, and that's the biggest thing that I've gone over with so many people about. Like, if you truly want to try to succeed in here, a lot of people are having problems with the fact that, they match you up with randoms, you're going to get matched up with bums. That's going to happen. But at the end of the day, the combine is all about seeing who can overcome the obstacles put in front of them. One of the obstacles is playing with people that you don't know, getting used to communicate with people you don't know. Some people don't talk because, they don't really know what to say when on the mic. Some people don't talk because they don't want nobody frustrating them and them blowing up and getting in their ear about it. So essentially what I do is a little bit of advice that might help you. What I do is, the first thing I do, I come in, what's good, how's everybody doing, and I let everybody know what my build is, what my build and what position I'm playing and what I'm matched up against. Usually after doing that, I get some response from a few of my teammates, people plugging in their mics, and they'll say, okay, well, I'm a shot creating this, or I'm a playmaking this, I'm at the point, I'm matched up against a sharp shooting this, or a defensive this, and right then and there we have a little bit of communication, and then now it's just about focusing on understanding how each of us are used to playing, how each of us play normally when we play as a team, and then kind of transitioning that into the game itself. So essentially, by doing that, you're gonna have better games than you ever had. You're gonna have really good stat line games, but at the end of the day, you're gonna end up having better overall team performances. So this game started off slow for us, but we started getting into the rhythm. The team we were going up against, they went up on us quick. They had us beat, but it was more along the lines of just stay patient, stay calm, and we got this win. We're gonna get it. That's no problem. But I want to go over a few things that I've kind of come across. I got an understanding for by messing around in this combine. First and foremost, it's fantastic. It's fun. I love the way that this game mode is built and the way it's designed. I would love to see something like this come into the game itself, because for real, it's not to say that I want to see this exact game mode come into 2K, but take some of the pieces from it and just build a better pro-am, something that doesn't take away from the league, but at the same time it adds to the overall quality of the game. So essentially, by playing in these games, one thing I've been getting, I've been playing 17 games. I've gotten 13 wins, 4 losses. I've been playing effectively pretty well. I had bad games, but mostly I have good games. I have a 50% shooting game on average, and then every now and then you get a game where you shoot 33%, 40%, and it's about getting used to the jump shot and ultimately just trying to take good shots. The first problem that I had at the beginning was taking good shots. You don't know what kind of teammates you have, whether they're gonna get you involved. As you can see, he destroyed my shot going up for that weak layup. Now, you don't know what kind of teammates you're gonna get. A lot of people will tell you that it's effective to have a point guard who knows how to play the point. We've all played games where it's like the point guard is really out there playing for himself, and that's bringing down everybody else's game. When you come across a situation like that, it's not to say that you're gonna win the game or you're gonna lose the game. But what it's gonna say is be effective in the other parts of the game. Be effective in rotating on defense. Try to get your team communicating. So even if the point guard is out there and he's doing whatever he wants, essentially the rest of your team can slow the bleeding that the point guard might be bringing. If you got a center who's just camping in the paint, not essentially doing anything but just bringing more heat to the paint, then effectively find a way to kind of like, I won't say isolate him, but just find a way to get around getting him involved, because at the end of the day, you want your whole team involved. I really truly believe that you want to make the extra passes, play good on-ball defense, play good help defense, but don't get caught out of your own element. Don't get caught out on the island by yourself if you can't be out there by yourself. Your teammate, if you fade in to cover your teammate, this is where communication comes in handy. If you fade in to cover a teammate driving to the lane, then what's going to happen is that teammate needs to rotate to the man outside and effectively allow y'all to play better defense. But if he doesn't rotate out in time and they get a quick shot off, all of a sudden that's a defensive breakdown on you. So effectively, I want everybody to just have fun playing the game, learn where you need to improve at, where we all need to improve at, and just, let's hope for something like this to come into 2K in the future, because for real, like I said, it's the funnest thing I've done so far. It's competitive, not completely competitive, because you got players who are just there because they got the 50 wins. I'm not saying I stand out above any of them, but what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, if you like to play competitive, you got a mic. If you like to play competitive, you're involving your team. If you don't like to play competitive and you're just kind of like playing around and you're just jumping in this, it's okay if you're young but you're not going to make the league because of maybe age requirements or because you're not really into making the league. But if you are out there and you're just jacking the wreck for everybody else, that's not even cool by a low standard. At the end of the day, go out there, play effective. I met a few people that I played with, and all of a sudden they added me, or they hit me up on the box, because the simple fact is we're out there, we're having fun. So effectively, if I'm not going to make the league, I'm not worried about it. At the end of the day, one thing I would like to know is where I line up in the league. So you kind of want to know whose radar you on. I think he went to the rack with some force just now. So you kind of want to know where you land on people's radar, where you're ranked. And I wouldn't say where I'm ranked amongst everybody else. Just if a scout's looking at me, I want to know like where I rank on his radar, not who's ranked above me and things like that. So let's say if I'm number 15 on a scout's watch list, that's what I would like to know. That would be pretty cool to know. At the end of the day, I'm hoping that this league devolves to something fun. And like I said, we always wanted the league to be successful, because if it's successful, 2K as a product can be successful, because they can utilize the league's setup, how it's made and how it's prepared to kind of bring more notoriety, give people a reason to want to be more competitive, want to have more fun, and get involved in this product all around. The one thing I was happy to see that they didn't find a way to throw microtransactions in it. Maybe they did a little bit, with a lot of people not having the build that they're used to and not being able to use their custom jump shots. You got people that are going out and recreating the builds that they're using, and essentially buying VC just so that way they can upgrade it to 85 and just kind of see how they can get comfortable with the build, shooting with the build, and playing with the build. So maybe they did find a way to even then get people to buy in using microtransactions. It's a nice little way to look at it. But ultimately what you're gonna what you're gonna need to know moving forward. So tips I can give you moving forward. This isn't tips coming from some elite 2K player. This is just somebody who's been playing the game and play with different types of people, play different styles, and just trying to figure exactly how can you stay in your own element and still be a part of an effective team. Essentially, get to communicating on your mic. First and foremost, talk to your team, talk to everybody you're playing with. Tell them what kind of archetype you are, and tell them what kind of archetype you're going up against, you're going to be matched up against, because that's the first step to a team communicating to success. I'm starting to get used to my jump shots. Don't be afraid to take shots. Don't take stupid shots, but if you're open, pull a jumper. Like I said, I'm 2 for 9 or 2 for 7 from 3. No, 2 for 9 from 3. 2 or 3 from 9 from 3. And at the end of the day, I will still put 3-pointer. I've literally given up 1 3-pointer that I should have shot because I was wide open. And when all that's said and done, the only way you're going to get better with your shot is being able to shoot in this gym during these games, regardless of what the latency situation is. You gotta kind of just adjust to it. So get you some practice in with your shot. You know, go into team pro-am, and get you some practice in. I know the sliders are a lot different compared to what we're used to, but just kind of get you some rhythm going with your shot, so that way you can kind of see when it's the high point to release. If you have the archetype that you're using in the combine, try to really use that jump shot with that archetype. Another piece of advice I can give you is just start going in the walk-on pro-am. Not taking your team, not taking your squad, but just going in the walk-on pro-am and playing with some randoms. Use your mic, get people involved, and don't be afraid to just kind of like communicate. I know because the community is sometimes toxic when it comes down to talking, and sometimes people say just the most ridiculous things out their mouth. It makes you not want to really talk with people at all. But at the end of the day, that shouldn't stop you from enjoying yourself and having a good time playing the game. I had a friend of mine who he's in the combine, and you know, he played a few games and he really didn't want to play because you got people out there only worried about them and jacking the wreck for everybody else. Essentially, don't let that happen to you. Don't let that get into your mindset, because can't nobody make you put down the sticks but you. And maybe a fire if it breaks out, and you know what I'm saying, it's in your neighborhood. You might have to clear the house. So just essentially continue playing, continue getting people involved, and they'll get you involved. If you don't find yourself getting involved, one thing I noticed is you become stagnant and you stop being involved. So I just make sure that I'm getting my team involved as often as possible. I make sure I stay involved and stay active on both sides of the board, just because at the end of the day, something I'm going to say a lot, when you get others involved, they get you involved. If they know you're a person who passes, then they'll be more inclined to pass to you. If they know you're a person who passes and they still won't pass to you on good looks, I've had teammates do that. Hey, at the end of the day, they're only really ruining the game for themselves and not for you, because you got to look at it and say, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do what I can to help my team win. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to play as effective as I can so that way my team can get this W. I've been enjoying playing with the slash and defender. The jump shot I'm messing around with, I use is jump shot 104 because it is the base of the jump shot that I created. So it does essentially make it a quick jump shot. Now, I can also play around with it with quick and very quick, but I think I stay with quick and normal. I've been bouncing between the two of those because some latency situations require me to use it on normal, some require me to use it on quick. So essentially, let's get back out there. We got the next round coming up in a couple of days, the next play block coming up in a couple of days, and go out there, have some fun, get with some people, get to talking on some mics. If you ain't got a mic, you need to go out and get a mic. You can get a mic for $10 at GameStop. You don't need to get the high-powered, high-fancy stereo mic. Get you a basic mic, communicate with your team, and let's get these wins together. Let's have some fun together. Let's kind of make 2K, as good as it can be. I'm gonna catch y'all guys on the next video. I'm out.